the second one was how do you find a deal that makes sense? And then this third part is just going to be about raising capital for real estate deals. We'll start off with an introduction. For those of you that have been on, you'll probably get sick of hearing this, but we'll do a quick introduction about ourselves and who we are, our experience in the current portfolio that we have. I'll get into some things to think about before you start raising money. I go into a concept called the Sandbox, kind of an example of how you should be thinking about your niche and your marketplace, your investor avatar, who you want to be raising money from, different marketing materials that you can think about putting together as if you're out raising capital for your deals, systems and processes that you should have in place, and then what to do and say in these meetings when you meet with folks to raise money for your deal. Really, it's a multifaceted approach where you should always be looking to find great deals, and you should always be looking to meet with other potential investors that can help you get your deals done and help them invest in great deals as well. And then some resources at the end. Oop, I don't know if I meant to do that, but. So once again, I'm Jeff Stewart. I'm a partner at Smart Asset Capital. It's a division of Smart Asset Realty and the property management company. Brock, Adam, and I are partners there. We're investing in a number of different real estate asset classes. We're learning every day and every week and trying to get better and better. And our deals keep getting better. We're closing another deal in 2 days. And it's an industrial property in West Allis, Wisconsin. It's a really solid deal. And it's fun to just watch our portfolio evolve over the years as well. Brock, you want to do an introduction on yourself?
Yeah, similar. I think covered most of it. For those that haven't been on one of these before, Jeff and I, myself and Adam partnered a while ago on the syndication business. We're working on that'll be our 8th one we've done. So we've learned a lot from each one. We learned something, and that's what we're hoping to ultimately convey in these webinar series and also in the whole Capital Club idea we had in launching. Here's kind of a quick overview for those that haven't seen it yet. Properties we've done, these are all syndication deals, each structured a little bit differently, but as you can see, an array of asset classes and sizes. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. We'll be adding our 8th one here in 2 days to this slide.
We're getting to the point where we're going to look to kind of churn the portfolio a bit, kind of niche down, something that I talk about here. Like I said, I mean, I've been investing in real estate properties for, I think, 8 years now or so. And, starting with the smaller properties that I was buying either on my own or just with a partner, each one of them I view as kind of a learning experience, and the deals keep getting better. We know what to look for when we have more access to deals, and, we're able to better execute our strategies. So it's getting a lot more fun, and it's not without, hardships as well. They're not all home runs, but we're learning a lot on every deal, and the portfolio is performing really well as a whole as well. So let's get into it. So basically, like I said before you start raising money, it seems simple, but get educated. Before anything, educate yourself. Learn about investing in general terms, language. You'd be able to compare what it's like to invest in gold or silver or Bitcoin or Ethereum, at a high level versus investing in real estate or mutual funds, right? Investors have, that have capital, they have so many different options. And what you're trying to do is figure out for the type of deal that you have, who's going to be the best fit to be an investor in those deals, and what benefits are for, for each of the different asset classes and investment opportunities, and then specifically learn more about different real estate investment opportunities. What does it look like buying, syndicating a 80 unit B-class value add apartment building where you're gonna try to increase the brand, improve the brand, increase the NOI, and raise the rents. What do the returns look like there versus a whether it's a ground up development project or a full blown heavy rehab, right? What are the returns that an LP investor, a limited partner investor, would be looking to achieve based on the type of different investment opportunities? Maybe it's just a flip. Maybe they're looking to do something more higher return, no equity, and they just want to lend money, lend hard money out, get the deal done, and then you return all their equity. The stuff that we do is typically longer term, buy and hold, where we want to be opportunistic. Then you got to analyze the market, analyze if you're looking at industrial properties or self-storage facilities in, tertiary markets throughout the Midwest, right? Analyze those markets, understand different, KPIs and metrics around what makes sense for those properties, whether that's, average occupancy rate, average, across the market, absorption rate, how many units are coming online. Understand that, understand yourself and your abilities and your team, the people that and then again, what your potential investors are going to be looking for. And through that whole education process, then you're going to want to develop your own strategy and business plan and understand how you can execute that to be successful. 1 second, I gotta let my dog out. That's Zoom life for everybody, and everybody that's been working from home for 2 years can relate. So step 2, then develop a track record. So either participate as an investor by acquiring smaller rental properties on your own, or joint venture partnering, or invest in syndications as a limited partner, so that you can get comfortable with how these deals work. We've got a lot of investors that have invested as limited partners in our deals. We've invested as limited partners in other deals, to be able to understand what makes a great operator, what makes a great deal, and then you can start to position yourself to be able to be the one raising money and doing those deals. So build out your network, your team. We've talked about that in previous webinars, but that would be brokers, property managers, attorneys, accountants, lenders, on and on, right? And as you build out your team, you build out a portfolio. You could start by creating kind of a credibility book or a resume. We'll go into some of the other marketing materials that you should put together as you start doing this. I talked about this at the beginning, but it's the Sandbox example. So it's all about niche down. Identify an ideal marketplace or sandbox to compete in and know it cold. And that could be, small to mid-size apartment buildings in the West Dallas 53214 zip code, right? And if you just own that market and that zip code, you know it really well, and maybe there's 3 to 5 other players in that market that are going after the same type of product that you're going after. You just want to be able to understand and know it better than anyone else, and then provide a niche solution to investors that have a headache. I think about it like, an investor that, is looking for ways to reduce their taxable income, right? So you got to know how your solution can help them reduce that taxable income by doing cost segregation studies and accelerating depreciation on your buildings, and be able to sell that to them. Or investors that have, just in general, that have a lot of cash and want to be able to use real estate as a hedge against inflation, That's another investor headache as well, or investors that, have a lot of money in their IRA. We just talked to someone that has that literally raises money solely from investors with money in their IRAs that want to move that money and self-direct it into real estate. I thought that was an interesting niche solution to investor headache, if you want to call it. And then just be able to start positioning yourself in a way that investors are attracted to you rather than having to chase them for your deal. That's never a fun situation to be in. The investor avatar, basically, you want to start thinking about the type of individual or group that you'll raise capital from and where you can find them. So that could be people, in a certain profession. It can be, doctors are high income W-2 earners that are usually, looking for ways to build wealth outside of their W-2 paycheck. And increase their passive income and decrease their tax liability, and you can do that through real estate. So that's one profession that you could, if you happen to know somebody or know people in the if you come from a medical background, right? That's a great way to get in and begin to meet folks like that. And there's many of other professions that make sense as well. Different hobbies, networking events, and then also your current network of family and friends. And then you really just want to think about what problem are you helping them solve by investing in your real estate deal? Is it tax benefits? Is it passive income, hedge against inflation, a way to double or triple their equity in, 2 to 3 years, with a great deal that you have and a great business plan? What is it that you're trying to help them solve? Marketing materials, and it's not, crucial to have all of these, but it does make sense to first and foremost, have a one pager, a short condensed overview of your project at a 10,000 foot level. Then you want to have a pitch book or a more of a comprehensive PowerPoint deck that would explain the project and your fund at a more detailed level. You want to have a website that looks professional, and on the website, videos, white papers, articles, and blogs that you're consistently updating as you build out your track record. A due diligence questionnaire, which would be more of a detailed document stating information around yourself, your operations, the structure, to make it easier for someone to say, hey, I want to do due diligence on this project that you just presented to me in the deck, and I don't want to have to come up with all these questions on my own. So we like to put together a due diligence questionnaire, and then also a one pager of here's typically what frequently asked questions are, and here's the answers to these. And then a newsletter, whether that's a monthly newsletter or a weekly newsletter. It's good to keep your investor base up to date on what it is that you're doing, over the course of years. Some of the systems and processes that we use, it's crucial to have a database to keep track of all of your investors, how often you're contacting them. We use HubSpot CRM. It's been great. It automates a lot of your marketing efforts, and you're able to really track and see, okay, how often am I, in contact with my investors on certain deals, and how are we? You want to strike the balance of being top of mind, but not, spamming too often. Being active on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's important to be active there and be consistently posting about what we're doing as we're looking to raise capital. Thought leadership programs, so getting on podcasts, guest blogging. Those are great ways to stay in front of and add more investors to your investor base. Referrals, personal and professional, so people that know you and that have worked with you before, people that have family, friends that have known you that If they know what you're doing in the real estate space, they can help, generate, contacts for you to meet with and explain more about your business model. I put track record document in here before. That's kind of, one of the marketing materials that I was just talking about on the other side. Public relations. We haven't done this yet, but we want to begin identifying editors of financial columns and different news publications in the Milwaukee area, but just in the real estate area in general, and basically introduce ourselves to them as resources, and try to get featured in different publications. Hosting events. I just met someone that runs a fund, and they go to different cities and they host kind of meetup events or dinner events where and it does spend, it costs money to do that, so maybe not on your first deal, but down the road as you're getting a bigger portfolio, bigger track record, and you get asset management fees, you can host events to then go invite investors in, maybe host a meetup or a speaker, have people come in and learn more about what it is that you're doing. Especially if it's a 506B offering, you wouldn't be pitching your deal to these people if you don't know them, but you can pitch your company and what it is that you do. And then as you build a relationship with them and deals come up, then you can pitch your deals. Joining nonprofits is a great way to meet people. And then other crowdfunding, you can go on Fundrise and basically pitch your deal to them. They'll take a cut of your deal, but they'll get it in front of a lot more people. Networking with family offices, private equity funds, and equity brokers that can help you your deals. And I just put at the end, network. The whole goal of having any of these marketing documents anyways, and having any of these systems and processes in place is to get meetings with people that can invest in your deals. Just getting towards the end here. These webinars are supposed to be short, and I always, even today when I'm sick and have a cold, I tend to be a little bit long-winded. So in the meetings, this is just general, meeting etiquette 101. It's almost like a sales meeting, right? You always want to be professional. Listen as if like you're a doctor. I always say to myself before any of these meetings, because I can talk so much, as you can see, two ears, one mouth, right? So listen more than you speak, and then have questions prepared. Here's some examples of questions for investors. What is your past investment experience in this area? What do you typically look for before investing capital? What does your due diligence process look like? And have you had positive experiences or challenges while investing in the space? Try to learn more about what their needs are, their goals are, their comforts, and then understand how your offering matches up with that. And lastly, we've got some resources here. We've got Capital Raising by Richard Wilson. Some of the things in this presentation were taken directly from these three books, but these are three great books: Raising Private Capital by Matt Faircloth and Raising Capital for Real Estate by Hunter Thompson. Each of them have blogs and podcasts, and you can find more about them at their websites. Again, we're launching what's called capitalclub.io. This will be a resource for you as well. Familyoffices.com is from Richard Wilson. And then Bigger Pockets. I didn't put enough emphasis on this in the systems and processes slide, but being really active on Bigger Pockets is also a really great strategy as well. I'm getting towards the end. Is there any? I just saw a chat pop up.
I just threw the link for in there. I would also quickly mention that Jeff probably mentioned it throughout the presentation here, but highlight that just constantly telling people what you do is a huge way to gain investors too. At any time people ask what you do, always highlight what you're doing. I'm working on these real estate deals, and the more you talk about it and get it out there, the more word will get out there that you're a real estate investor, you're doing deals. and you'll be surprised at how much people start asking you to invest in your deals. And that's the best scenarios that people actually ask you to invest in your deals.
It's like
And Bigger
build-
Pockets is amazing too.
if you build it, they will come. It really is amazing. You know, we're going to send out a survey again, just like we did the last couple times we've done these webinars. We want to know what we can do better. We want to do more of these in the future. We might not do a series. We might do, you know, kind of a monthly webinar. But you know, we're gonna fine tune it and tweak it and kind of iterate as we go. As I mentioned before, we're starting what we're calling Capital Club. It's a mastermind. We're going to do weekly calls with, you know, a lot of them will have different experts in different spaces, different niches, different asset classes, all around doing deals, private equity deals, mostly private equity real estate deals, across different asset classes, across different, you know, parts of the country. There's you know, courses, educational content. Brock and I are working on filming them right now. Brock's created an underwriting model, and then different templates that we're using, and then just weekly networking. So that's going to fill up, you know, the first, we're going to do kind of a, you know, get together and get a good round of founding members, you know, and as we get that going, then we're going to tweak and iterate that as well. But, you know, we're going to start that in the spring. So if you're interested, do let us know. The space will be limited. So we want to focus more on, rather than trying to have a big group, right, where we can't get around everybody. We'd like to have a smaller, more kind of intimate group where we all know each other and can help each other really well. That's all I have today. Anything else, Brock?
I think you covered it. That was capital raising. We'll keep you guys posted on these future events and the progress of launching the Capital Club.
Awesome. We'll see you guys.